Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening and subscribing to the LYB podcast. If you ever have any questions about wanting to train with Dandy Fitness or getting your movement in, please feel free to reach out to Danny at dandyfitness.com, as well as you can follow me on all social media platforms, Dandy Fitness 1.
So we have a podcast. It's a segment in my show, The Road.
Oh, I see.
So
what
you'll
you're
be
saying.
like a guest on my show.
Yeah.
We'll go to the gym. We'll get a meal. We might race cars.
See, that's
we might
awesome.
go rock climbing. And then
That's-
we have a segment called Brick by Brick where we build
Yeah.
the same Lego set and we kind of race. And I try to distract you by asking you questions the whole time.
That's awesome.
And then we
I
see
love
who
that.
can do it fastest. And whoever finishes wins. And then the time's up. And it's like, you know.
That's so cool.
So it's like, that's how, so it's all heavy. It's all edited. It's like a TV show.
Yeah, no, that's incredible.
So I was curious, like, what yours looks like.
I love that. Yeah.
The podcast is standalone.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a
I can dig it.
standalone.
Platforms, and then she has
Yeah.
other content that we've done that she does separately on like other channels. So
Okay.
as far as this kind of stuff, it's pretty much this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
standalone.
Because
Yeah.
it's more just about like telling their stories and like getting to know people on a real
Sure.
level and stuff.
Do they ever
so-
go long?
Yeah, oh yeah, they do.
I can dig it.
So that's why we're like,
Ours are, and that's why we did the Lego. Oh, that's why you what?
that's why I was telling you that I was like, we're not gonna take breaks. We're just gonna go through
Oh,
it.
sure.
So
I'm ready to start whenever you want.
Okay.
To rock, we just,
okay, cool. Yeah, I
Oh,
thought we were
perfect.
already going. So
yeah. So for ours,
Yeah.
so the Lego set we build will be like, I think we try to get them between 200 and 300 pieces.
Oh wow.
Because normally, like an experienced Lego builder, a fast Lego builder, can do like 500 pieces an hour.
Okay.
400 or 500 pieces an hour. The average person can do like 100 to 200 an hour.
Yeah, I'm feeling I'm like a 100 to 200.
Very fair.
For sure.
Very
yeah,
fair.
I know myself.
So what I'll do is I'll pick the same Lego set, and it will be about 200 or 150 pieces, something like that.
Okay.
And then normally that takes me about 40 minutes
Oh,
to an
wow.
hour, give or take.
I've never heard of this approach. And by the
so
way,
it wraps things up.
yeah. And then, by the way, hey, everyone, welcome to the LYB podcast. We are here with David Ziegler,
Hello.
Ziegler Monster. For those of you who've seen on my Instagram, especially if you watch from the expo and you've seen me do my Love Your Body initiative with him, he got on stage last year and did Move Fit. Yes, got some epic moves. That was awesome.
Which is in the road show.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like you're in it.
Oh, I love
Did you
that.
didn't realize?
I didn't
You're
even realize.
Episode 10 or 9 or 11 you're
Oh
in.
my
And I'm
gosh.
on stage.
I love
It's
that.
captured forever.
Yes, that's amazing. That makes me so happy. Like, I love it. And I love that you document just like everything, because that's how I feel like I do all my stuff, you know, and just kind of keep it as real and authentic. You're talking to the camera. You don't act like you're too good for like, you know what I mean? I feel like, because again, for those listening, if you haven't just seen how amazing he is, like you just, in terms of with the expo, we have like a couple guest people that come in. So like Jay Cutler, Brian Shaw, and you and a few others. And it's always interesting for me to see that element and see how people are going to act. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
no,
when I
very
saw
fair.
your booth and stuff, I was kind of like, okay, I'm getting kind of an interesting energy last year, you know? And I was like, I don't know what the vibe is, but I heard that like, you know, Roy came on the podcast, the one that owns the, you know,
Right,
expo.
absolutely.
And he had mentioned, he sat right here literally the day before, and he mentioned about you and he said like, oh yeah, this guy's coming out. I'm so excited, you know, whatever. And so I was like, oh, I wonder what's his deal. And so when I went over to you and you just like, yeah, let's do this like LYB initiative, you know, stuff like that. And like you got on stage, it just showed me what a good sport you were and that you weren't above like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually do. Yeah, some of the gals are very serious.
Yeah.
And not in a fun way and not in a professional way.
Right.
It's just like very serious.
Yeah. And so that's why I wanted to ask you. So, because I didn't know how all that came about, but like, how did you even, before we get into this weekend's expo, how did you get involved? Like, are you just on the road and you're like, I want to do like, you know, meet and greets? Like how did that all start?
Oh, no, well, bodybuilding is how I started everything in the fitness world.
Okay.
So when I got into fitness, I wanted to have a career as a competitive bodybuilder because that's the only way I thought we could make money. And
okay.
I have no formal education. I have no trade. So if I'm not bodybuilding, essentially, I think I'm pushing a broom.
Yeah,
Which is
okay.
fine with me. I did it for many years. I moonlighted security. I did hospitality, restaurants, all while I was training and trying to be a bodybuilder.
Oh, wow.
But I got into it because I wanted to be faster at racing motocross.
Oh, okay.
So I thought I could be a pro motocross racer.
Nice.
Delusional dream as a child. But I went for it. All the pros were training to be faster.
Okay.
So I started training
Okay.
around the age of 17 or so. I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm no
Really?
Ricky Carmichael.
Okay.
No, yeah, even at the local level, I was getting beat.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
I was just a guy who loved dirt bikes.
Because where did you grow up?
Philadelphia.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
outside. Westchester, Pennsylvania, Kennett Square, Pennsylvania.
Okay. So you're in Pennsylvania and you're doing, it's riding dirt bikes and stuff like that, right? Okay. And so you realized at like 17, you're just like, this isn't going to.
No, I was like, I'm not fast.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm not fast.
Yeah.
I'm having a ton of fun, but I'm not fast.
Okay. All right.
And mid-pack is not going to pay any bills. So I got out of that. I was working in restaurants. I finished high school early. I was 17 years old, graduated from high school, and I was working in a restaurant, and I didn't really know what I was going to do. And I was in the gym working out, and this guy came up to me, and he was like, "Are you getting ready for a bodybuilding show?" And I was like, "I don't know what that is."
Right.
And he was like, "Bodybuilding." And I was like, "I don't know what that is."
Yeah.
As a unit, as a whole, I don't know what that is. And he was like, "Well, you look like them. They go on stage and they pose their muscles." And I was like, I've seen people make fun of that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like on mainstream television, I've seen it joked around. I know what you're talking about. I'm not interested in that. And he kind of got like offended because I wasn't interested at all.
Right.
And I could tell it was like a passion of his.
Oh, I see.
And he was like an older guy, so he probably like did it in his younger years,
Yeah.
like in his 50s. And he was like, "Well, what do you do all day? Some of these guys make a lot of money. So these guys are famous. Like and I was like, "Oh, well, I'm your busboy. So if you need more water or more bread,
Yeah.
I'm wearing the gym, but I mean, that's what's going on in my head."
Right.
And I was like, "So what are these guys doing?" Because I love training and I love working out more than anything. And I'm going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
So when I learned, because I kept doing it even after motocross, I kept going to the gym.
Okay.
So when I thought to myself, like, there's a whole avenue out there that I can pursue and make money and go in that direction, then why am I, there's nothing else I'm going to do. Like,
Right.
That's all I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this full force. And I went to Walmart. I got a muscular development magazine. Hated the way everybody looked. Everybody. I was like, man, this is so gross.
Right.
These guys are huge. This is way too much. But I was like, so if I could do this, but I was like, that guy has like a Ferrari.
Right.
So I was like, so
Okay.
if I could do it halfway, then maybe I could afford a Honda.
Right. Oh my gosh.
And I could
yes.
pay my electric bill.
Yeah.
I don't need to be that guy.
Right.
I could be the middle guy,
Yeah.
right? Like there's got to be a range.
Right.
These are the Michael Jordans. There's 20 guys on that team.
Yeah.
And they're all getting paid.
Exactly.
And they're all having fun playing about it. So I could be that guy, I think.
Okay.
And that's what got me really interested. So I was like, I'm going to listen to these guys. I'm going to follow these guys. I'm going to do what they do. And I'm just going to not get that big. But I'm going to like find my path. And then it was like 2 weeks later. And I was like, I want to be the biggest man in the world.
I was waiting for
I
that.
want to be Mr. Olympia. I'll do anything it takes. And that lasted for like 10 years.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
But the only way I thought you could still make money or get any fame or do
Yeah.
anything was competing. I really thought that my life was going to be, I wake up, I go to the gym, I go home, no one talks to me, nothing happens. Once a year I come out and I win the Olympia and they put me at a booth for 6 hours.
Yep.
And maybe the 2 weeks before that, they come to my house and they film me work out and there's but that's it.
Yeah.
And then those pictures, we look at those pictures all year.
Yep.
And then just like motocross, I was like, I think I just got 9th.
Yeah.
I just got 7th. And I have some wins. I think I've competed 29 times or 31 times. It's one of those two. And I have 16 first place. I have 5 overalls.
Amazing.
Handful of seconds, and then all the way down the new not places.
Oh, okay.
So I'm very random in my placing. And that's because I mess stuff up. I get in my head. I peak wrong.
Yeah. What was your division? What did you do?
Super heavyweight and heavyweight.
Okay.
Men's open bodybuilding.
Got it. Okay. That's what I wanted to know.
But doing all of that is what opened me up to the entire fitness community.
Okay.
And then I learned, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you can do this, you can do that, you can be this guy, you can be that guy.
Yeah. Because were you competing only in Philly or did you travel for this or were you going everywhere? Or?
I've traveled as far as Tokyo.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So international and everything.
All around the whole country for the most part, East Coast, West Coast. Not so much in the middle.
Okay.
And then one time in Japan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
One time. And we went, we went to compete.
Yes, right.
But we went to Japan.
But we went for Japan.
My wife and I went to Japan.
Yes, your amazing wife that's here right now.
Yeah.
So how did you two meet?
On a blind date.
What? I love a good romantic story. So tell me all the things. What happened?
Okay, well, one of her best friends at the time was a girl, and we'll call her Kay.
Okay.
And then one of my best friends at the time, a guy, we'll call him Jay.
Okay.
They were dating, but we didn't know each other. And that was my friend and that was her friend.
Yeah.
And we would all go off and hang out and come back together. And we never saw each other. It wasn't like that.
Right.
So I guess Jay and Kay were like, yo, it would be a lot easier if your best friend and my best friend just became best girlfriend, boyfriends,
Yeah.
and we could all double date and hang out together, and it
Right.
wouldn't be so much breakage of the day up.
Yes. Okay. Gotcha.
So he came to me and he was like, "You want, Chris and this?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that sounds fine."
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, she's pretty, man. She's cool." And I was like, "All right, yeah, that sounds great." And then we met at the hibachi.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
incredibly nervous.
Yes.
Nobody ate anything.
Right.
We didn't talk at all. It was awful dates.
What do you mean?
Well, I just mean, well, it wasn't good.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you could own it. I'm glad.
Maybe awful is not the word because it wasn't awful. Because it wasn't awful. Awful implies that like you would never want to do it again.
Right,
This
yeah.
was just bad.
Okay.
It was like watching a movie that like it was like it's not a good movie, but I see you went for it's an okay movie. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what it was. We didn't talk. We were nervous. No one finished their food. Jay and Kay were dating for years, I guess, at this point too, or whatever. So they just scarfed all their food down. They had a great, wonderful time.
Okay, yeah.
So that made it probably a little more awkward because we
Right.
were trying to like, I don't know, have this aura of these two people who are so comfortable with each other, and
Yeah.
we just met each other for the first time. So a lot of pressure. Didn't work at all.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 weeks went by, maybe not even that long, and then she was like, and we were talking, and she was like, if we go, let's another outside
Yeah.
walking.
Love it.
Bring the dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we did. We went outside to the park, walked around the forest, walked around the fields, had the dogs. Very comfortable.
Yeah.
When we weren't talking, we were just walking,
Yeah.
breaking a stick for the dog.
Right.
Fill in the time. And then because of that, we were able to open up a real conversation and get to know each other.
I love that. That's
then
so
it went from there.
special. Aw. And how long ago was that?
I don't want to get it wrong because she's sitting here.
Right. No pressure. No pressure.
17, 18 years
Okay.
ago.
Amanda, what is it? Is it 19?
19 years ago.
Hey, we've had a long day. All right, we had a long
19
day, a
years.
lot of talking. So,
Time goes fast.
right? That's wild. Okay, and this was in still Philadelphia where you guys met.
Yeah, outside Philadelphia. So Philadelphia, outside of it, 30 minutes is Westchester University.
Okay.
And then about another 20 minutes outside of that is a place called Kennett Square, Unionville.
Okay.
And
Is it kind of like, so it's not like big city at all.
No,
It's
no,
like
no,
very
no.
okay.
But it's also not very small.
Okay.
It is like America, suburbs, TV, Full House, Friends.
Okay.
Not that's more city actually.
Okay.
Boy Meets World.
I love. Okay. Love the reference. Yes, I got you now.
That's the a lot of kids, a lot of
Yeah.
houses, schools,
Okay.
but no buildings over 3 stories really.
Yeah.
The town was known as the mushroom capital
Okay.
of the world at the time, Kennett
okay.
Square,
Okay.
and our main street was probably like 6 buildings, pizza shop,
Oh,
the
wow.
whole nine like that. So yeah, so very suburb.
Okay.
No sticks.
Yeah.
No city. Very America television.
Gotcha.
Like sitcom type of stuff.
Okay, I love that. So then, are you an only child or do you have siblings?
I have a sister,
Okay.
older sister.
Older sister.
Yeah,
Okay.
3-4 years older. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. And then, is your family like still there, or did they move? And
Same house.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
So I was born in Crozier Hospital in Philadelphia,
Okay.
in the city, but then I was raised in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
until I was 9 or so, and then they moved like 6 miles,
okay,
and then they've been there ever since.
all right, nice. I
So
love
that area right there.
Okay, and then did you grow up? Was it like in a healthy household, or was it just?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my
All right.
dad's my best friend.
I love that.
We talk almost every day on the phone, sometimes twice a day.
Amazing.
We talk. We've talked on the phone for hours and hours. Like one time, we watched the Mike Tyson fight together from start till finish on the phone. I think it was 4.5 hours.
That's awesome.
We were just sitting there like talking and like making jokes the whole time.
Yes.
Like, can you believe these girls?
Right.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so he's my best friend. My mom is like the sweetest woman on earth. I love her so much. She's a little angel. Yeah,
That's awesome.
So great.
I'm sure they're so proud of you and everything. Did they not see this for you, or do you think that they just like?
Well, they're
everything-
so supportive now.
Yeah.
They love it, especially the YouTube channel. And my dad watching The Road and all. That's like his
Yeah.
favorite show. My grandma watches it.
Yeah, so tell the listeners what the road, what that is. Because I really do love this concept, and I think that this is incredible what you're doing. Because you're going around the U.S., right? To like go to all these different the world. So you go to all these different gyms.
Yeah, so they're two different shows.
Oh, okay.
So what really we have is we have an app that's in development. It's a website and it's an app. It's been in development for about 6 months or so. We've been working on it for almost 3 years.
Okay.
Okay. What it is, it's the website and app where you can put in a location and it's a directory. We show you the gyms that we care about that are for people like us. The gyms that are privately owned, they have murals on the walls, flags, all that stuff. Those gyms, what a lot of people don't realize is those gyms are made by guys from the 90s, the 80s, right? They built their gym. It's one of the coolest gyms in the country. It has so much soul, so much vibe. It's where you want to be. But that he's happy. Right? He's in his 40s, 50s, 60s. He has his members. He goes to the gym. He goes home. He takes out his wife, or if it's a woman, she takes out her husband. They don't market like that.
Yeah.
So when we're traveling, like you and I, for us to find these gyms is difficult.
Yeah.
They want us in there.
Right.
We want to be in there.
Yeah, there's like a hole in the wall, though.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then when you look at their Instagram, it's like flyers for weird stuff that hasn't been updated in 2 years.
Yeah.
Or it's like a close-up of a dumbbell rack.
Right.
And you're like, this doesn't help me. And then if it does, is it still open?
Right.
Is it open right now?
Exactly.
No one picked up the phone.
Yeah.
I called.
There's so many hurdles for the consumer to like get to it. So yes.
So with us, you can type in the location. Like, if there's only one gym like that in the city, there's only going to be one option from us.
Yeah.
That show you.
I love that.
And then when you click on it, we have the tour video that we film. It's 5-10 minutes, depending on the size of the gym.
Yeah.
It's never a review. If we're there, it's a good gym. You can get a full workout in there. You can become a champion in there.
Yeah.
It's fine. You watch the video, is it your vibe? And then there's the profile where you can see the gym, the address, the phone number, the hours. Yes, it's open. Buy a guest pass right now if you want to.
Right.
And then the gym, if they choose, has full access to that profile.
Okay.
So they can update it with new pictures, new messages.
Yeah.
People can comment on different gyms because they can have their profiles, and it's free for everyone.
Okay.
From the gym owners to the users, because we want this to be like an Iron Family community thing.
Okay.
I'll do fine with advertising and view money. Like, oh, that's fine to run everything.
Okay.
But that's the whole idea.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask you, because I didn't know if it costs for people to be a part of this, and like, but
No,
I know for
yeah.
you, yes.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't cost anything for anyone. We have gyms because it's such a large project.
Yes, for sure.
We have filmed 120 gyms so far.
Awesome.
We've been to
Yeah.
2 countries. We're about to be to 3.
Wow.
We've been to 23 states, I think it is. So we've been doing a lot, and we're doing a lot more, and we're scheduled all the way out into 2026.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we have gyms that contact us, and they're like, Missouri. We're not, do you have anyone from Missouri? Like, my gym, I really think it belongs. We haven't been there. We would love to be there. Here's the issue: time restraints, budget restraints. We have so much stuff that we're already working on because we filmed 50 gyms, 100 gyms, and 50 of them have been produced. We're still producing 50 more.
Right.
If you can help us with travel and production,
Yeah.
we'll come out, we'll film it, we'll front load everything. So you'll be next on the list to get edited, next on the list to get published.
Okay.
I'll do all the short form content. I'll market it on Ziegler Monster, TikTok, Instagram. We'll put on an open house for the gym and a full-blown meet and greet that I'll put on for 4 or 5 hours. And we'll give away merch. We'll do a full-blown seminar.
Yeah.
All of that. And so hopefully for the gym, it's way more value than what, you know what I mean? Like, your value is huge.
Yeah.
But for me, now I get the location, the users get the location.
Yes.
The gym gets on the map.
And it's growing your app and
It grows the app.
Yes. Okay.
I'm going to market it for 10 years, but in the flip side of that, it means that I'm going to have advertisers for 10 years. So
Right.
thank you, bro. Like, but
Yeah.
you know, we didn't have it on the budget for this year. You put it on the budget for this year.
Yeah.
Let's do it first. Let's get it done. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right.
Let's grow together.
Wow.
And it's been working really well
That's amazing.
for us. We are, like I said, like, we're scheduled all the way out till
Yeah.
2026.
I love that. So what, I guess did the idea come from you were just like,
excited.
yeah, no, you should. And because you're passionate about it and you love it. And that's what's incredible. So when you say this, because like, how did your YouTube channel grow to what it is? Because like, it didn't start with this.
Small. The YouTube channel's still small.
Oh, is
Yeah, so this app and the website, we're putting everything on YouTube to try to generate advertising, view
Yes,
money,
yeah.
the whole nine, get the gyms out there even more.
Right.
But really, it's going to be the site and the app that holds all of this infrastructure and information.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's what we're really shooting for. My largest platform is TikTok,
Okay.
like 1.2 million.
That's right. Okay.
Instagram is like 180,000.
Okay.
YouTube is like 35,000.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but the road.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, geez.
I'm appreciative of every single person.
Yeah.
But the road, the show that we're filming, which is the reality TV show about competitive bodybuilding and the lifestyle around it following me,
Right.
It's because I have the camera crew scheduled so often.
Right.
And we're going to all these crazy locations all over the world.
Right.
And we're like, let's film another show.
Well, you might as well. You're already there. You're already
Yep.
going to work out. It's
Yep.
brilliant. I love that.
And the guest pass only takes place in the confines of the gym.
Right.
It's only the gym. It's
Yeah.
very quick. It's 5-10 minutes. We film it in a few hours.
Yeah.
So, but while we're in Tennessee, while we're in like while we're in
Yes.
Japan, like when we're in Texas, like let's film this other show called The Road.
Yes.
And we've been filming that for 2.5 years.
Wow, that's so cool. I love that.
You're in it.
I know. I mean, I love that I'm in it. This just makes my whole day. No, that's so special. So tell me then, okay, so you have so much going on. So in terms of like when you got, like, I guess with like TikTok and stuff like that, like, was it just that you started documenting your bodybuilding journey and then you just started getting like followers, or like what happened with that?
Absolutely. So I thought that putting stuff out there would help me get sponsors. And if I could have sponsors,
Right,
I
yeah.
thought I could pay the electric bill.
Yeah.
So it was 2009 or 2010 that my bodybuilding.com body space, which if you had one,
Yeah.
it's like Facebook for bodybuilding.
Okay.
It's like not even around anymore. It's like MySpace for bodybuilding. Is a
Okay,
better way to say
gotcha.
it.
Yeah, you're the first person I've heard ever say this.
Oh,
so
yeah, 2006 to 2014, that was a pretty cool spot.
okay.
So that profile there was the first profile I had to break $250,000.
Okay.
And that was not a large website. So I was like, everyone knew who I was. It was like me
Right.
and like Steve Cook.
Okay, yeah.
Because he came up on bodybuilding.com as well.
Okay.
And a few other people. From that, I got my first sponsorship with Sand Nutrition.
Okay.
Sand Nutrition, and I was competing at the time. I was trying to turn pro, and I was
Yeah.
22 years old or whatever it was. And from that, Sand Nutrition started putting me behind booths.
Nice.
And they were like, this is David Ziegler, the Ziegler monster.
Yeah.
He's going to be the next pro. He's going to be the next big thing. He's only 22 years old. He's already qualified for nationals. This, that.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So by default, I had people coming up and taking pictures
Yeah.
and my autograph. And they were like, what's your name again?
Right,
I was like,
right.
my name's
And
David.
you're like, let's spell it out. Yes. Yeah.
And that went on for 4 or 5 years until Sam was like, so you haven't won? And I was like, I haven't. And they're like, all right, well, goodbye. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
goodbye.
That sucks.
It broke my heart.
But did it like lead you though into like somebody even better?
Oh, absolutely. Now I'm with Gorilla Mind.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I
Yeah, because
love
that's where I
them.
saw at the Arnold when I saw you and Granny Guns over there, and so that's why I was wondering what that connection was with them.
Gorilla
Okay.
Mind. Yeah, I'm sponsored by Gorilla Mind and Helomix.
Okay. Yes. All right.
And I love both of them so
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
But I was a free agent for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
So was there ever a moment where you were just like stressed, where you were like, man, I don't have any sponsors, or I just,
sure.
yeah. Like how
Yeah.
long was that stint for?
3 years, 2 years.
Okay.
And I was just like, man, this is, I might be in a lot of trouble because I was not doing well. I didn't come up, with a lot, hardly anything. So the sponsorships at the time, I was living off of the booth experiences.
Right.
I was getting
okay.
$250 a day,
Okay.
and I was probably doing 8 to 20 day appearances a year.
Okay.
For them.
Okay.
So that was pretty decent supplemental income for the year.
Okay.
Because I'm having like an extra $6,000.
Right.
Or whatever it might be. And when you're counting thousands of dollars and you're like, I make $15,000 a year.
Right.
6 is great.
Yes, 100%.
So I was doing that, and then they were giving me, if I believe, $500 a month in supplement allowance.
Okay.
At
love it.
MSRP.
Yep.
So off of that, a tub of protein's like $50.
Yeah,
so I was getting
yeah.
like 2 or 3 tubs of protein. Let's get my pre-workout.
So all the stuff you needed to keep with your healthy lifestyle journey.
Healthy. I was living off of it.
Okay.
There was times when I was having 4, 5, 6, 7 protein shakes a day.
Oh, wow.
Fiber powder and potatoes.
Yeah.
I actually got fired from one of my jobs working security downtown because I stole 2 potatoes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, for dinner.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So wait, so while you're doing the bodybuilding, you were still doing security, like bus boy and all that stuff?
I did bus work, like front of the house, probably until I was 19 years old.
Okay.
And then around 19 years old, I got into security, like back of the house stuff.
Okay.
Or just security is a better way to say it.
Yeah.
But I did that for.
And was that like a contractor or was that
12
like
years.
security? Or was that like salary? Like I don't know how that works.
hourly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
normally it was $10 an hour to stand at a door.
Wow.
And I would stand at a door Thursday, Friday, Saturday for 6 hours.
Okay.
So it was like 18 hours there. So $180 a week extra.
Okay.
So
Okay.
say 200, so 2,468, extra $800. So again, we're looking at like $11,000 a year.
Right.
And then you add in the 5,000 or 6,000 I'm getting from Sand Nutrition, I'm making $15,000 a year.
Right. Well, for people that don't know, bodybuilding is really expensive. So, especially if you're, getting into all of it. And I mean, the freaking suit alone, for like girls especially, it's like ridiculous. Like I spent like $1,200 on one suit.
Oh my God.
One suit.
My
That didn't
suit.
even end up, whatever. I'm still upset about it. I got sick, and so I didn't get to compete.
you didn't get to wear it.
And so didn't even get to wear it, and they wouldn't even give me a refund. I was like, I'm done. Anyway, but whatever. I did other shows and stuff before that, and then when I had my health stuff come up, I had to like decide. It's like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna push forward 8 more weeks, or am I just gonna like let it go? And so I had like autoimmune stuff happen. I had just like negligent like coaching kind of thing, and it was very. And again, I wouldn't say that if I didn't really mean it, but like they all know, and I've gone through it. But like now, I can't really see out of this eye, so I have a hard contact lens that I use, and it's like 3% of the world get what I have, and due to stress.
That's a high number. 3% is kind of high.
Right,
though.
but here's the thing though. What they don't mention is when you go to the doctor's office and all of them are like 75 years old. And I'm sitting there with you know what I mean? Like it's very like upsetting every time I go, but it's been this whole thing. But thankfully enough, have since last August spent the last year, got my cycle back. I worked on not having flare ups. So I haven't had a flare up, knock on something since, right? So it's one of those things where like, it's been a beautiful journey, and it's taken me, off of that,
Yeah.
But it was one of those things like very scary and stuff like that. But now I have a hard contact lens, so I could like see today, which was beautiful. So it was a blessing. But anyway, but it just goes into that whole thing of like pushing yourself, because you're grinding, and like again, very different backgrounds and how we like got to where we, I feel like where we are in our success, right? And I feel like it's one of those where you push yourself because you don't have an option. Right?
Yeah, it's back to security.
Yeah. Like
Do that forever. And I sold fish for a few years.
Yeah.
And I tried very hard to become the assistant manager.
Mm-hmm.
It looked so awesome to make like $42,000.
Right.
But didn't.
So for anybody that's listening, in terms of when you're talking about like, sponsorships and stuff like that, because I've said it before too, in terms of like sponsored home gym and like and all that. Like with yours, like, do you feel could you have done this in a different way without them, or do you feel like you had to have those people? Like they're what helped you get on this path?
The sponsors? I do. Because my coaching does great. Yeah. The coaching does fantastic. The Iron family does well. But the affiliation and being on a team as an athlete brings in income and brings in opportunities in a different way,
right,
and in a very large way at times.
Yeah.
Because it can be very influential to have like this huge company only promote 4 people.
Right.
And I saw that with Sam.
The LYB podcast is sponsored by Fight Energy. Fight Energy is your all-in-one health drink. You have nootropics, 0 calories, 125 milligrams of caffeine, as well as your daily dose of vitamins to keep you feeling your best. You can order Fight at danityfitness.com. Make sure you use code LYB for 25% off. And we're even going to throw in some travel packs for any purchase. And let us know, are you team strawberry or team blueberry? And when you drink Fight, make sure to tag Danity Fitness 1 on socials to share.
ZieglerMonster.com is my handle on all social media sites. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all of it is Ziegler Monster. ZieglerMonster.com is my website. And then my shows are called The Road and Guest Pass on YouTube, which is also under Ziegler Monster. And nutrition, when I was a nobody,
Yeah.
I didn't even place in the first couple contests I did.
Right.
I did 2 or 3 contests at the Universe or at the national level, and I didn't even place.
Okay.
I was 16th. And once you get to 15th,
Yeah.
everybody's 16th past that.
Right.
Because the judges
Yes,
stopped judging.
exactly, yeah.
So I was 16th, I think. I think I got 16th, 15th.
Okay.
Is how terrible I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Progress.
Now, my muscles were big and they looked good in photographs, and I was having a blast.
Yeah.
But would I have gained the same traction I did in the community, especially from the viewer, like the fan base? Like those people were exposed to me. Like it was Branch Warren, Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, David Ziegler,
Yeah.
Phil Heath, Kai Green.
Right.
So hi.
Yeah.
And yeah, like my shoulders were wide and my muscles were real big. So
Right.
everyone was like, yeah, like you, okay, I see you here.
Yeah.
But how did you get here?
Right.
And it was competing, but a combination of competing and social media and the right place at the right time while the right people were involved.
Yeah.
You know,
Isn't that beautiful though?
Oh, it's amazing.
When you look at it.
There are so many of my peers, that if we were going off of physique and drive and commitment alone, would blow me out of the water. You know, there's no reason why they shouldn't stand where I stand.
Right.
And if they were standing where I stand, they would probably have a larger impact than I do. And I say that, you know, like from the deepest parts of my heart. But I know guys in garages all over the country who are just pouring passion day after day after day, and no one knows.
Right.
And they flex, and I'm just like, holy cow.
Right.
Who are you?
Yeah.
And why don't we know?
Yeah. Well, so do you feel like you're able to be like grateful for your spot because of like how you came up because of?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like the most fortunate person in the world.
See, because you could have easily like gone with this in a different way. You know what I mean? Like you could have been like, oh, well, like the chip on the shoulder. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like a lot of, you know, people, especially in the fitness world, it's like that whole notion, right? Like I did this, I pushed myself to here. Like you know what I mean? And it's very like in your face. And it's just like, it doesn't sound like anything you've said comes from that place, and it's not presented that way. And so I wonder, like, is that from, you know, your parents instilling this in you? Is that kind of like something that you've picked up along the way? Like, is it your wife's influence? Like, is it just kind of everything, or?
I'm not sure. Thank you for saying that.
Of course.
But yeah, I don't. 'Cause so many things have shown me that I'm not.
Yeah.
I've had so many judges, and they were like, "Here is your black ribbon."
Right.
And I'm like, "Okay, thank you for the participation trophy."
Yeah.
That says a lot when you put yourself in a very professional environment to be judged, black and white, no personality, no nothing, and then to lose.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I see where I stack up.
Right.
Thanks for including me.
Yeah. Well, see, but even like having that mindset right there, you know, but like things like it seems like have you had a hard time, like I guess in terms of like when it comes to doing bodybuilding? Because for me, I did strongman competing, so I was a strong woman, so I pulled trucks, I bent steel bars, like that was my favorite thing. Lived for it, loved it.
Would
so
you bend nails?
And yes, yeah, like it was so exciting. And so, you know, and I got into that because here in Nashville, like it was one of those things where I had started my business in 2017, and you know, I'm here and I was like, I want to show people that you can do things that are amazing at any size. Because I danced my whole life, but I never looked like a dancer. So people were always judging. I was pulling diets. It was kind of that thing. And so when I was going to classes, people would hand me like 5-pound weights. And like I wasn't like obese. I just looked a little bit bigger and not like whatever. But they would hand me these weights, and I'm like, I know, I think I can like do more, you know. And I would be like, and they're like, no, you should start here. So I did like fitness festivals. So I would go and secretly shop these classes, and if they treated me a bad way, I didn't pick them for the festival. So you know what I mean?
Okay.
And like Barbell Voodoo was one of my first sponsors. Nashville Fit, my first sponsors before the expo was even presented. Okay. And so basically, like when I did that, it was one of those things, like I came out the gate, and it was just interesting because nobody really believed I could be strong. And I was like, this is the problem. Like, stop judging me off of like how I look, and just give me some weights and let's do something fun. And so when I got with the trainer, he was like, hey, you're really strong. Anyway, started doing strongman competitions. First one I went to, won it. Second one I went to, won it. The next I went to, got 15th in the country. And I was like, oh man, people are like, who is this chick? I wrote Barbell Voodoo, booty shorts, sports bra, Danny. You know what I mean? I was like, what's good? Yeah. And this was amazing. I lived for it. And so my identity like became like, yes, I have Dandy Fitness, but I was like, the strong woman, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then I ended up getting Nashville's Strongest Woman in 2019. Well, I got injured in 2020. Vertebrae shifted forward, crushed my disc, couldn't feel from here to here for 3 years. So I've had to regain strength, and I had to start over completely. So this is all while COVID, loss of a loved one, like all the things, and then also just in like doing everything from losing strongman, right? And that was like my love. And so when that happened, I rebuilt from the ground up and was very depressed, just really sad. But I kept on doing Dainty Fitness. and went to virtual for a while there and then came back. You know, all these things, like I never stopped because it was the one thing that kept me going. And it wasn't until 2021 I posted a video on TikTok of me flipping a 500-pound tire and it went viral. Awesome. And that was where like all that kind of happened, you know? And so it just opened so many doors and it was just really exciting. But it was just like putting something out there to be like, I just need something to be positive about. So I went back to a memory 2 years prior of a day that I felt amazing when I flipped that tire at the expo. And somehow it like went everywhere. And so that was something that was like, for me, it was like this beautiful moment that like movement has saved my life so many times in so many different ways. When I literally, my legs going numb, but then I have people call me and like getting into Shape magazine. And it was just like, it was so beautiful that it was so like, I don't know, I've just been so grateful, you know? Yeah. And so that's where like coming here and like talking to people like you and just like feeling that, because I really do feel like you feel grateful, you feel excited, and it makes me feel excited, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, and so it's just been fun. But with the whole Starman thing, I love that. And that was my identity for a while. Okay. And then how I pivoted was I was like, well, you know what? I can't lift heavy, but I'll do bodybuilding. They don't lift that heavy. That was my thought process. So I went into that 2021, competed in 2022, and then 2023. But the thing happened where the judges are like, yeah, like I got like, I couldn't get lean enough. Like, and then we found out with health issues and stuff, but you know, 5th place or 4th place or whatever, right? But I was just happy to be there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I literally am up there. Everyone literally was like, your videos like crushed, because I was just like, I feel so good because I like worked so hard, right? Yeah. And that was what was empowering to me. That so I wonder, like with you, when you got that whole like what you said about the participation stuff, did it fuel you to be like, no, I'm gonna like fight harder, or were you just like, maybe I need to pivot, I'm gonna still compete, but you just had a different mindset about it?
Yeah, because in the very beginning, I competed natural for my first like 4 or 5 shows, and I did very well.
Yeah.
I came out into NABA, and I was like, oh, this is a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be Mr. Olympia in no time.
Right.
And then I found the NPC, of course, because that's the only way to the Olympia, to the IFBB. And I did my first NPC show, and I took 9th out of 11 people. But I was like, that's fine. I'll take the year off. I'll use gear. I'll come back, and I'll be like, you know, number 1.
Right.
And I kind of did. Took the year off, came back. I won the 2013 Golds Classic in North Carolina. It gave me a lot of confidence.
Awesome.
Didn't win the overall, but I won my class.
Right.
Went to nationals, didn't place. Went back again, didn't place.
Yeah.
Took like a year or 2, went back, whatever it was, and got like 15th. And that's when I was like, I have just spent 5 years showing the world that I can't do this. And I just spent like 5 years of my life showing myself I can't do this. Yeah. So what do I do now? Yeah. You know, and that was a really, really, really low point for me.
Yeah. And how old were you about that time?
I was like 25.
Okay.
Yeah. So between the ages of like 24, 25 to like 26, I was like very depressed as well. Yeah. Very sad. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know if I should continue to try. Right. I was like, there was at one point I remember talking to my wife, and I was like, besides loading up more needles and fucking shoving shit in my, like, I don't know what to do. Right. I'm just not supposed to be here, I think. Yeah. You know, and then so what I did was I moved to Las Vegas. Okay. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go head over heels and just totally commit all the way and see how that goes. Okay. And it totally did. It changed. I just needed to change my life. Okay. Essentially.
So explain that. Like, commit to what exactly? Like,
to the goal. Okay. So I remember, like, I remember when I walked out of my job, I was selling fish, and I was like, I'm gonna go be a bodybuilder. Started working in a gym, and then I was working in a gym, and then I stopped working in a gym, and I was doing everything online as a personal trainer, and I was losing shows, winning local shows, winning regional shows, getting an overall here at a regional show, going to a big competition where all the guys actually are. Right. And not holding my own. Right. And I'm like, so I'm not, okay. Yeah. But so I was like, you know what? I just need to learn, and I need to change my life. Yeah. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my company that I have in North Carolina, coaching in person and online. Yeah. And I'm going to go to Las Vegas. Okay. And I'm going to train next to Jay Cutler and Dennis Wolf and Iris Kyle and Hide Yamagishi, and they still all are. Oh, okay. Yeah, Las Vegas is the bodybuilding capital of the country.
See, I didn't know that.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Now, there are great bodybuilding locations other places. Right. And now in modern times, especially this is 10 years ago, it's changing because people are more places. Texas is a very big bodybuilding state. Okay. But Texas is so far apart.
Yeah.
They have to drive 9 hours to see each other.
Exactly.
Florida's not bad, but it's the same way.
Yeah.
In Las Vegas, so what happened was Los Angeles was our spot.
Yeah.
Right? Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Right,
everybody
yes.
was in Venice Beach.
Yes, I love it. Yeah.
Eventually, real estate caught up. Oh, there it is. What's Santa Monica?
Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually, real estate caught up and everyone caught on.
Yeah.
And we got pushed out because we couldn't afford it.
Okay.
So everyone went to Las Vegas because it was only a 3.5 hour drive back to Venice Beach.
Okay.
So we could still be there for photo shoots in the morning. We could leave at 4 o'clock in the morning and be there by 8 a.m. for a photo shoot on Muscle Beach. Okay. So we all got pushed into Las Vegas, and then the Olympia came to Las Vegas, became the home of the Olympia for 15, 10 years, whatever it was.
Right.
Only left because of COVID because they wouldn't host it. Now it's back again.
Yeah.
So, and it's a fishbowl. You can drive across the entirety of the city in 30 minutes. The city stops. There are no roads that go out of the city. There's one road in, there's one road out.
Yeah.
So it's not like other towns where there's like sprawling streets and there's a house and 100 yards, another house and a mile and another house. No, Vegas is a fishbowl.
Yes.
The city ends when I am shopping at Smith's. There's Jay.
Right.
There's Day. There's Craig Goliath. There's so we have more pros. There's Flex Lewis, Flex Wheeler. Martin Fitzwater just moved away. We have Regan Grimes, Sergio Olivia. We have everyone is there. Yeah. Even all their coach, but whatever.
Yeah.
I get distracted.
Yeah, it's okay.
So no matter what gym you walk into, there's top pros, top amateurs, past
so
Olympians.
you're just immersed in it.
Immersed. The opportunities are endless for us. There's a supplement shop on every single corner.
Right.
The competition there is so high because of it. The body standard is so high in the gyms there. Yeah. And so I went there and my physique transformed.
Amazing.
In like 2 years. I had so much energy. I had so much drive. I made so many connections. I had everything I needed.
Yeah.
Everything was right there. I could compete right in my backyard with the best guys in the world.
Right.
I was in the best gyms.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and everything changed.
There's two things about that. The one thing that you said that I love is that you basically had to let go of, like, you were holding on to the fish, and selling that and like doing all those things, right? And you had to immerse yourself into this world that you want to be a part of. And I believe that 100%. I feel like so many people do 27,000 things and they don't know which way they're going, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And so that a lot of times people will always ask me, even when I started my business 8 years ago, they were like, oh, so what else do you do? I still get that to today.
I get that all the time.
Right? They're like, what else do you do? And I'm like, this is my life's work. Mm-hmm. This is literally like, I help women love their body throughout movement. Like, it's been like this from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things of, and again, what we have the different aspects of it though. The podcast, right? So it can help people for free, right? Mm-hmm. We have the Fight Energy, which can help you with your mood booster, stuff like that. Like, I have some people who've never met me before, but they buy Fight. I have some people that only come to MoveFit. I have some people that only listen to the podcast. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like very different, whatever, but they're under that umbrella of we're all trying to love ourselves more. So how can I help you do that? Is it in-person training? Is it online? So, but it's all within the DDF community, kind of like how you're saying, like your Iron family, right?
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Iron sister over here.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, so I respect that. And I think that is where a lot of people, especially coming up, think more, they see people like doing all these things, like, oh, you do so many things. I'm like, but there's this, like a strategic way. Like it's a building within all the things that we
like exactly. I'm an office building.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And inside there are many offices, and they all have their own things and chapters and filing cabinets, and they're on different floors. Some of them, big differences.
But we know exactly where we're going. Mm-hmm. It's just up and down sometimes, and side to side. But but I love that you said that. And then in terms of being, I think this is something else that is very important, and why I try to like express about community of why it's so important. Because like what you just said, you were around people who inspired you, who made you better all the time, but you had to put yourself in that situation. And, it didn't just come to you. You weren't just in the right spot. Like, you had to still go and like show up and put yourself in the right space. And that's something I feel like also gets missed. And it's really important in terms of, yes, like, because I always told my people, I'm like, I felt like I had to come up. I always tell a story. My best friend was the only person ever commenting on my stuff. Like, she was like, go D. And like, she still comes to my events, but she was like, you're doing great. Like, no one cared. People made fun of me for taking selfies. People made fun of me for talking to the phone. Like, it was a constant just, maybe we shouldn't do that, in college, just all these different things. And then it was one of those things where I was like, this is how I hold myself accountable. Like this is what helps me. So I'm gonna keep taking my selfies and doing these things, and you know what I mean. And then I tell people, I was like, I looked for a community so long, and I never felt like the closest thing I got was the strongman community, you know. But I never felt like I belonged anywhere, and so I felt like I had to create that because I never wanted anyone to have to feel alone on their journey like I did.
Very fair.
You know?
Absolutely.
And so I think that that's so special, like I said, that you were able to like go and find people that you just inspired to be around and wanted to see that, you know, and just like be in that. So when you were in this time, you're like 27 when you're like doing all this, or was this later?
Yeah, this is like 26, 27.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. It was right around that time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a business partner at the time.
Oh,
and that's how a lot of it I was able to make happen.
Okay.
Because like this guy bought into my company, sold him 50% of my company, $100,000.
Wow.
And I was like, with that,
Yeah.
I think I want to go to Vegas. We could expand everything. My career will change. We'll be around all these people. We can market so much better. Everything we do, we can put online. This will be great. And because of that initial opportunity was how I was able to get out there and actually have like financial stability enough to establish myself.
Yeah.
Which was huge.
Yes.
I didn't just show up
Right.
and couch surf.
Yeah.
You know, I had a good 6 months or a year, a little less, where I had a place, and he and I, however you say it, just kind of laid stuff down, got to know the land,
Okay.
and all that jazz. And then from there, he died.
Oh.
So
What? I mean, do you
yeah.
want to share what happened? Or
Oh yeah, I killed him.
Whatever, David. I can't with you.
So I sold half my company to this guy, and then it started getting better and better. And I was like, I need all the money. Yeah, I can't have this guy attached.
Oh my
No, he went to Colombia.
Okay.
And he died in Colombia in police custody.
What?
Yeah, so that's why it's a funny joke, because there's so much evidence that I did not.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So far away, he was with the
Right.
authorities.
Yeah, it wasn't even you. Like,
it
yeah,
wasn't even
no,
like,
right.
yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah, so sold him 50% of my company.
Yeah.
Right, ZMF.
Okay.
Ziegler Monster Fitness, the coaching company.
Okay.
Right. And Ziegler Monster Enterprises is more. So we didn't even have Iron Family, but it was the coaching.
Okay.
And I was like, to market the coaching, I want to move to Las Vegas. It's been a plan of mine. Jay Cutler's out there. Everybody's out there.
Yeah.
We can market like crazy out there. I've been just waiting for the right opportunity, for the money, for the moment. I think this is it.
Yeah.
And you're on board 100% to try to make this happen. We can do it there better than we can do it here.
Right.
So he was like, you're right. I agree with you. We're watching all these videos of the guys in the gyms, and that's where they all are, in Venice Beach, California, Las Vegas. Let's freaking go.
Okay.
So we put together a website. We built a website. We have training on there, membership stuff. We do photo shoots. We get a house in Las Vegas. We come out to Las Vegas. Everything's going well. 3 weeks in, he gets consumed by Las Vegas.
Oh.
He's going out every night, drinking, like different partners in his bed. Like it's just, no.
No,
and
it's
he
the
was never
environment.
like that.
Okay.
So he got with me because he was my client.
Oh.
And based off of his results, we put 25 pounds on the guy,
Yeah.
got him to take less drugs, cleaned up a lot of stuff,
Right.
healthy lifestyle. He became a magnet. He was having a lot of attention, feeling really good.
Yeah,
We went to
that's nice.
Vegas. Now we're in a place where it's like, it's like
You can party,
It's
you
a
can-
sex capital. It's a freaking everything. It's
Yeah.
just a place. So he goes nuts. I'm going to the gym. I'm training. I'm doing my stuff. I'm not drinking.
Right.
I'm waking up. And for 2-3 weeks or whatever, he did great. Almost a month.
Yeah.
You know, we're very consistent.
Yeah.
And then because of that, we're making connections in the gym.
Right.
So-and-so was like, oh, I'm the lead of this show on the Strip. Do you want free tickets?
Yeah.
And then after the show, drinks and drinks and
Yeah,
drinks. And
it's a
then
lot.
next thing you know, it's like a month in, he's drinking every night. I'm
Yeah.
going to the gym. He's passing me in the morning because I'm getting up to do cardio. He's
yeah.
coming home. I'm saying stuff to him that's a little cheeky. I'm like, you going to make it to the gym in
Right.
20 minutes?
Right.
You know, you don't look like you have it in you. And he's
Yeah.
like, screw you, dude. And I was
Right.
like, okay, whatever. This goes on for months, a few months, and now he's doing like bottle services. And now the gentleman had a little bit of money. That's how he bought into me.
Right.
That's how he hired me in the first place. He was working with me 4 or 5 times a day,
Right.
4
A
or
week.
5 times a
Yeah.
week in person, as you can imagine how much that costs.
Oh yeah.
So he was an amazing client, money, bottle services, $10,000 tables,
Wow.
all the clubs you could recognize, all the restaurants you can recognize, inviting everybody, different partners, different dates. Then he started going to California, same thing out in California, getting nice hotels, Airbnbs. Then he started going to Brazil,
Okay.
ran out of money. I didn't know he ran out of money.
Right.
I'm just living my life. I'm going to the gym every day. I did 2 competitions in this
Yeah,
period
yeah,
over
yeah.
these 4 months or 5 months. I competed in like the Jay
you're
Cutler
focused.
Classic.
Yeah.
I'm building the company. I wrote countless hours of workout and content for the website, for the members. I'm working with the members. There's bugs in the website. I'm working with that company.
Right.
And I was working nonstop, and I'm doing it all alone.
Yeah.
You know, that's just me. I'm like, what the heck is going on, man? Where are you?
Yeah.
So he ran out of money. Next thing I know, he's like being very combative with me. Drives a huge wedge between us.
Of course.
That wedge leads to him yelling at me, and it was all over a post on Instagram.
Of course it was.
I put out a post
Friggin' Instagram.
on the company, and it said, you can't fake eating 5 or 6 meals a day. You can't go out and party all night and properly recover the next day and get your workout in.
Yeah.
It's all or nothing, and everyone notices. And it's a quote from Sean Ray.
Okay.
It's a very famous quote. It's on posters, on walls,
Yes.
and I, put Sean Ray's credits at the
Right.
bottom. He read it, texted me, and he was like, take this off. No one wants to see that shit. All they want to do is look good when they go out. It's not no one's obsessive like this. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Right.
My guys literally die to try to win the Olympia.
Right.
Literally die trying to do this.
Yeah.
And you're saying that you just want to look good when you drink. So I was like, I totally disagree with you. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You're not the same person you were when we were working together
Yes.
6 months ago. And he was like, F this, F you, get out of the house. It's my house. You have a room here. Get out of my house. So he kicked me out in Vegas.
No.
Yeah, so I'm out in Vegas. I was like, okay, and now this kind of stinks. So turn around, locked me out of my email.
Of course.
Because changed all the passwords,
Yep.
changed the passwords to the website, the company, I couldn't get into the bank, I couldn't get into anything. I was completely sealed off. And out on the street in Vegas, and I was like, you son of a jerk.
Yeah.
So, of course, Amanda's helping me, and my dad's helping me.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, she's in this room with you?
She's in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Because we went out to Vegas to start up the company.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
and when things, Amanda's in school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she hasn't even graduated yet, so she's trying to make her life happen, and she's trying to become a doctor.
Wow.
So she's doing all this stuff, and we're balancing checkbooks, like trying to get all the money. And I'm not taking clients because for the last 6 months I've been building this company.
Yeah.
Social media, she's been coming out, going back, coming out, and that's draining us on the bank because we don't have the money for.
Right.
We started to get members, so there's money starts to come in on the website.
Yeah.
He spends every dime he has, locks me out, and then he runs up the credit cards. Siphons all the money off the website,
Oh my gosh.
changes, and then so we have a fallout, right? Of course,
Right.
he sues me.
Oh my
Next thing I know, the lawyers call me. I'm being sued for my name, for the rights to the site, for everything,
Right.
everything, with a bunch of weird,
Yeah.
And he's like, you're on the street in Vegas, and you and your wife have no money, and everything's awful for you guys right now, and so you're beat. I'm going to take everything. And I was like, dang. Called my dad, and my dad's not well off, but he was like, you know what, I'm not going to, you've been doing this since you were 14, 15 years old, like trying to work out, and then you got into bodybuilding when you were a teenager, like 17 years old when you got into this. He was like, I'm going to make sure this doesn't happen. So he got me a lawyer to actually show up.
Amazing.
So
Yes,
it wasn't
yes.
like just in my face.
Right.
So that got pushed. So he had to put out more money, which he didn't have.
Right.
We didn't either, but at least we were in the fight.
Right.
So it goes back and forth a couple times. As you can imagine, that's already terribly expensive, especially when you're in a possession where $1,000 is a lot.
Yes.
And you're talking with lawyers, so everything is $3,000, $2,000.
course, yeah.
$1,750 seemed cheap for different things.
Right.
Got to the point where I lost.
Oh, wow.
The lawyer was like, here's the deal. I could go all the way to trial. That's where we're at. We're at the point where we're going to have to go and fight.
This is crazy.
And he was like, and that's going to cost you $20,000 minimum for me to do that. He was like, it's probably going to cost you $40,000 to do that. And he was like, and I don't think this website you have is worth that much money.
Right.
He was like, I don't think all of this is worth that. He was like, to be honest with you, you're a failing bodybuilder.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
You're like, don't need this now.
And I was like, but I'm a good coach.
Right. But you had the business established before you ever went into.
Right, yeah. So I'm a coach, you know what I mean? But it's like, it is what it is. I'm a glorified trainer who competes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not Phil Heath. You
Yeah.
know, I'm the guy who gets sixth. I might win a local show, a regional show, but I'm the
Right.
guy who gets sixth at the big shows. And I'm a coach and I'm a trainer.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot to fall back on. This is all I have. And I'm like, all right, so I can't. So I might not have $40,000 to save it, but it's kind of all I have. So if he takes it all from me, now I'm like double beat, right? Because
Right,
now I
yeah.
have nothing.
Yeah.
And he was suing me to not be able to put Ziegler or Monster next to each other without 3 words in between. Oh, he came at me.
What?
He came at me with a lot. Yeah, there was a lot in there. So eventually, my lawyer was like, let's try to settle this.
Yeah.
If we can. And we settled. So he's not here. So keep in mind, he traveled to Colombia.
Okay.
Okay, he went to Colombia to party.
Okay.
His lawyer and my lawyer are talking.
Yeah.
His lawyer is calling him in Colombia
Right.
and saying what happened. You win. Here's the deal. I will pay you $10,000 cash. I don't know how, but I will. I'll give you $10,000 cash. You can have the website that was expensive to create. At the time, you got to imagine this is like 2015, 16. That
Right.
website was like $45,000.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, if you can have all of that, you can have all the intellectual property that I wrote, the hundreds of hours of workouts, you can have it all. The whole structure of how the website works, you can run all the clients, you can have it all, you can have everything. The only thing you can't do is you can't have my name, you can't use my pictures, you can't use my likeness to sell it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Your name.
I can leave and I can continue to be a coach and a trainer, but you can have everything and every client and every dollar, and I'll pay you 10 grand, and it's over. And in that was also every photo shoot that ever was done together while the company was under joint custody or whatever it is, joint ownership. I couldn't use those either for my promotional
Right.
stuff. So all that was a wash. Okay. Lance agreed. Okay, his name was Lance.
Yeah.
He's dead. So I can say it. Unfortunately. But, so he's in Colombia and he won.
Yeah.
He had to come back to the United States to sign
Right.
and do everything. Okay, cool. A day goes by, I get a phone call, Lance is dead in Colombia.
What?
He never made it back to the States. He never got to win. He won.
But like, so wait, so you paid him though the 10,000, or you
Never.
didn't have? Okay, so you were just like,
I agreed.
You agreed, and so he had to come
And
to the
he
States.
agreed. He had to come to the States and sign. He died.
So what happens to his
What? So yeah, what happened to the 50%?
Dissolved. It's gone. He had no one in line, no
Yeah.
estate, no nothing.
Oh
No next
my
of kin,
gosh.
no parents.
So
I have everything.
Yeah.
I have 100% ownership. Well, actually, that entity that it was is kind of just gone.
Yeah.
The entity that was ZMF.fit
Yeah.
was me and him.
Okay.
That's pretty much dissolved. And
Yeah.
now I have Ziegler Monster Fitness
Right.
Enterprises,
Yeah.
which is a whole new thing.
Right.
And it's all me, and there's nothing attached to it, and there's nothing.
Right.
So, yeah, that whole enterprise that we had, him and I, is gone in its
Right.
entirety. His 50% is gone, my 50% is gone. No one's involved anymore.
Okay, yeah.
And I've moved on from there with no
Yes.
strings attached.
Which is amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
My gosh, how could I have worked out any better for
Right.
me, which is an awful thing to say out loud.
Well, it is, but here's the. But that was the whole thing. I'm like in my head is like God like just looked out in that sense. I mean, that couldn't have happened any. That's incredible.
Yeah, poor guy.
I mean, it sucks, yes,
Poor guy.
but also,
So here's where it gets deep, because everyone's probably wondering what happened.
yeah.
So he wasn't a nice fellow.
Okay.
He wasn't an awful fellow. Maybe he was. I don't know. He wasn't a great fellow. He made a lot of enemies. Now, this
Yeah.
won't happen, but so a lot of bridges were burned. He ran through all of the money that he had,
Mm-hmm. Right.
drained all of his stocks, cashed them all in, sold his mother's house when she died,
Okay.
lost all that cash.
Jeez.
Any ability he had to make money or to stay like in a relationship that would be fruitful for him. He could have a place to stay,
Yeah.
have a car to drive, anything at all that he had burned because of his tongue.
Okay.
So what he started doing was going to Colombia and Brazil and buying HGH
Yeah,
and
growth hormone.
GHB,
Okay.
liquid GHB, which
Okay.
is the date rape drug.
If you haven't yet checked out How to Love Your Body Throughout on Amazon, please go do so. It is my passion project. It is something that is so special, and it's a tool and guide to help you love yourself more throughout your journey. Whether you're in a bodybuilding prep, whether you're a mom of 4, or you're someone that's just looking to love the body that they're in right now, I highly encourage you to check out the book on Amazon, as well as you can reach out to me with any questions. And if you're able to share this with a friend or loved one, please do, and help supporting the mission to help everybody love their body throughout their journey. Oh, so wait, so human growth hormone and the date rape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
And then he was getting away with it because he was in the Air Force. So like the way he was getting, he was like
my-
barely getting looked at.
Right.
He was kind of like walking in and out of the country, essentially, is how he described it to me. I don't really know most of the details, but there are news articles, and this is stuff he told me.
Yeah.
So the one time he went down, filled up 3 orange juice containers with GHB, put it in his checked luggage.
Okay.
and the Columbia found it. They found it.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so they found it. He got detained and arrested. They verified what it was. He went to trial, lost, was sentenced, and then on his way to jail, he had 3 heart attacks, and the last one killed him all the way.
That's all going on. You're back out.
What?
I had no idea. I'm in Vegas, and I was sleeping on a couch.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he's in a Colombian jail, you know.
What brought on the heart attack? What just
Well, the thing was, so when he stopped hanging out with me and he stopped being coached by me,
Yeah.
he like quadrupled his steroids.
Okay, that's
So
what
he was
okay.
juicing to the
Yeah.
max, and then he was drinking, doing
Oh, yeah.
drugs, partying. I'm sure his blood was jello.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
I would have to imagine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot. So when this happened, so like when you get the news and everything like that, do you just kind of like hit the ground running? You're like, I got to start training back up and build because I'm imagining you built this
Essentially.
incredible, business. You're proud of it, the hours, everything that you did, and it's just like gone. Like you right, like the fit or whatever it's called.
It was ZMF.fit.
Yeah, ZMF, yeah.
ZMF.fit.
So when that was gone, you're like, okay, fresh slate.
Fresh slate.
Okay.
Brand new. Let's get going.
Where was your mental at? Were you excited? Were you freaking out? Were you?
I didn't know how to respond to that because
Okay.
one, I don't ever feel good when something negative happens like that to somebody.
Right.
But on the other hand, I was like, I have a lot less stress now.
Yeah.
So this is a very conflicting feeling that I have.
No, I totally get that.
And what was ironic or coincidental, however you looked at it, Sand Nutrition dropped me at the same time that all this happened.
Okay.
So not when I won.
Yeah.
That was like a silver lining that I won the lawsuit. What happened to him was very awful. But
Right.
if you look at it on paper on the lawsuit, I won the lawsuit, so that's a little W.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I got served with papers. So I was being sued.
Yeah.
I got kicked out.
Right.
I got dropped by the sponsor.
And you still.
It was all like the same month.
So did you just like use that fuel though to keep in with bodybuilding, like to just like get your workouts in and stay on your?
Yeah, because there's so many times where I've thought to myself, like, this is rather awful.
Yeah.
But the only way I can get to the other side of this tunnel is to keep going.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so.
You just got to keep pushing through.
Yeah, because if I stop now, like, I have
You can't
nothing
turn
at
back
all.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too far to go back.
Yep.
I'm gonna sit here in the dark and die.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, so like the only I have to go to the gym.
Yeah.
I have to eat my chicken breasts.
Right.
I have to find a show to do. I have to impress somebody.
Yep.
I have to find a way out of this.
Right.
I have to have a transformation. I have to have a physique. I have to get clients. I have to find sponsors. There's nothing else. What else we got to do?
Yeah.
Go back to the busboy stuff?
Right,
I don't want to do that.
Yeah. So you got this new fresh slate and everything like that. And then when does Amanda come to like move into Vegas, right?
She has not.
Okay.
Yeah, Amanda still lives in North Carolina where I still live.
Okay.
So we have the house in North Carolina.
Okay.
Which we own. It's a 14-acre place. We board horses on it. We have 3 acres. We have 3 horses, a donkey.
Okay.
We used to have chickens, but they were all recently brutally murdered.
Oh my gosh.
I
not
know,
the
it was so
chickens.
sad.
Oh my.
Yeah. I made a TikTok about it, got 1 million views, and I was like, you guys are awful when I'm reading in these comments.
Bruh,
They're like the worst people ever.
I got a groundhog out back, Gary, and I mean, it's a whole thing. People love this stuff. Like it's like we're trying to trap him with a honey bun. We didn't get him, but he got the honey bun. So congrats, Gary. But whatever. Anyway, it was just a whole thing.
People are like, your neighbors did it.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Stop
Right.
it. Stop saying such awful things.
Oh my
It was an
gosh.
animal.
Right. So North Carolina's home base, and then
Yeah, home base. When we lease in Vegas.
okay, you lease.
Yeah,
it. Got it.
business in Vegas. We travel. We come out there. Amanda's out there. She comes out, I don't know, once a month or more.
Okay.
Most of what we've been doing the last 2 or 3 years has been on the road.
Yeah.
Traveling for guest pass and stuff.
Okay.
So when between the ages of like 26 to 30,
Okay.
very fitness oriented. I was like, I got to bodybuild. I got to win. I got to turn pro. I got to be a champion. This is all I have. I got to
Right.
rock and roll. And it went well. I did fine. I won a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
Things went well. And I got my coaching company back up and running.
Okay.
All the success of the competing and the coaching and the social media rolling and rocking because I'm putting effort into Instagram and TikTok.
Right.
All that stuff's working.
Yeah.
That brought on the sponsors because the
Okay.
sponsors don't care about much other than, what you can do for them. So since
Right.
I had a large platform and I was already using their product, products. Derek called me and he's like, I noticed you use our stuff all the time. You want to be on the team? And I was like, I would love that.
Yeah.
So that was a very organic way to join.
Awesome.
With Gorilla Mind. And then Gila Mix chased me for a year before I finally decided to try one.
Oh, okay.
And then I tried it and I was like, you guys had a deal.
Yeah.
This is a freaking great shaker, guys.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a year, I like refused because I was like, shakers are dumb.
Right.
I was like, shakers are dumb and they're all the same.
Yeah.
And they're stupid.
Yeah.
And I lose the pieces.
Right.
And then 6 months went by. They'd contact me once a month. They're like, you sure you don't want to try them?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll take a look later, guys. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
really just kind of blow it off. I'm like, let me take a look later. Oh, yeah, thanks, guys, but not right
Right.
now. And then finally they sent me a code and they were like, if you use this code, everything will be free.
Okay.
They're like up to like 8 shakers.
Yeah.
They're like up to like $100 or like whatever it is. They're like up to 8 shakers, a shirt, whatever. Anything on the website, it'll be free. Here.
Yeah.
And then I had that for weeks, I think, and I gave it to Amanda. So she had it for weeks. I didn't. I gave it to Amanda. I was like, here, this company gave me this, and this is what they said. So look on their website, and if there's clothes on there or something's cute on there, get it.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so she's on the website, she's going through it, and she's like, it's mostly just shakers and some shirts. So I was gonna get some shakers and a shirt. And she did. She got she got 4 shakers and a shirt.
Okay.
They came to the house, I put them in my office. They lived there for another 4 months.
Yeah.
A long time. They just lived there unopened. And they would text me and they'd be like, we saw you use the code.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, my wife used it. They're in the office. I haven't opened them yet, but you know,
Right.
when I get to it, I'll let you know what I think. They're like, yeah, no stress. Just let us know what you think about them.
Yep.
No stress, man. No stress. And I was like, okay. And I was like, when I get to them, I'll get to them. And then we were traveling or running out of the house. We were late for something.
Okay.
And I was like, I just need a freaking shaker. I was like, I have a shaker.
Yeah.
So I ran downstairs because I wanted to put
Came
protein in it or
clutch.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as it came out of the box,
You're like,
I
yes.
touched it. I was like, oh,
Okay.
this is actually like an adult shaker.
Yeah,
This is like
like-
a fancy boy shake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then I used it and how it worked, and like it doesn't smell, and it's like hard plastic, and there's
Right.
nothing in it.
Right.
And I was like, this is cool.
I love
this
that.
is pretty cool, guys.
So you have so those are your 2 main sponsors.
2 main
And then
sponsors.
do you have your own product line? Because you have your shirts and
I
stuff,
have
right?
Iron Family.
Yes.
We have Guest Pass, and then we have Ziegler Monster Fitness Coaching.
Okay.
So those 3 are like my money makers.
Okay,
When it
gotcha.
comes to anything consumable, nothing.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
nothing consumable at
Okay.
all. It's just the directory, and then Ziegler Monster Enterprises, I guess, would cover like view money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have Guest Pass, which is the directory, and then that also translates over to YouTube and nonsense.
Yeah.
Iron Family coaching, and
Okay.
the road. But again,
Yes.
that's just like
Right.
nonsense view stuff on because of these 3 entities, how we run them and operate them. We have like all this trickle off stuff.
Okay. Yes. No, that's super cool.
And then we have Gorilla and Gila Mix, Intelligent Shop, Happy Hippo, Magnetic Bag Company.
Okay. Okay. So tell me this. Because I mean, there's so much. This is awesome, and I love everything that you said. But so my, of course, underlying theme of everything I do is loving your body throughout every season, right? Because I told you
Okay.
I did half marathons, I did bodybuilding, so I've been 14% body fat. I've been over 55% body fat, okay, and still been able to move and do incredible things throughout my journey. So what I want to know with you, with your journey and everything, were there times where again you're not, because bodybuilding for people to, if they're watching here on YouTube, which they should be, they're seeing you, you look stacked, you do bodybuilding, things like that, right? But so, yes, exactly, flex, please. But so the thing is that when people, he's like, yes, any opportunity. When you have this, they may think, well, you look great, but we know as bodybuilders, yes, well, we still could look better, and also, how do you love yourself? So there's always been that question, like, well, how do you love yourself if you're not the physique that they wanted you to be on stage, right? And so I had to really, for me, being as confident as I am, I had to be even I started getting like body dysmorphia, started to flare up. I started getting weird about it. I just wasn't seeing myself the way you know what I mean? Like, I guess that everyone else saw me. And so it was one of those where I wonder, and I want to ask you about, like, did you have those moments where you kind of like hated your physique, or were you just like, it just wasn't what they wanted, didn't fit the criteria? Could you be very black and white about it? Like, how was that for you?
I'm more black and white about it and able to just like not attach myself to it personally.
Yes.
But not so much always.
Okay.
And it wasn't that I took it personally about like body dysmorphia. I just knew what I had to look like to win.
Yeah.
And I could take that picture and without any biases look at it
Yeah.
and say, that's not going to win.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like what should win.
Right.
And that would frustrate me like crazy.
Yeah.
And I would try everything I could imagine to try to create the black and white picture that would say, this is what wins.
Yeah.
So I've been extremely committed and dedicated and obsessed with trying to present that image.
Okay.
But I haven't attached it to myself personally or my worth.
Okay. I love that.
Now, I have as far as my bank account.
Right.
So I'm like, if I could create that,
Yeah.
that's a very monetizable photograph.
Right.
That would be great for us.
Right.
But me personally, no, like if my arm is 18 inches or 22 inches, for me personally,
Yeah.
my life goal is to breathe mountain air alone without cell service.
Right.
And I can't get there and pay for that and not care about anything unless I have a successful career.
Yes. Yes.
And the only way to have a successful career, well, things are different. There is no only way. And that's why we're talking. And that's why
right.
we're having this conversation and
Yeah.
having a great time. But there was a time
Yeah.
when I thought the only way
Right.
was that black and white.
Right.
And when I thought I couldn't produce it or knew I couldn't produce it to the level that I needed to have the success that I thought to be able to be, I would have career meltdowns.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome to the max.
Right.
And I wasn't like, oh, I'm worthless and I chose wrong again.
Yeah. I see. I see.
Again, I chose wrong. I
Right.
couldn't be a motocross guy. Now I can't be a bodybuilder guy.
Right.
Like, oh, what am I doing? I'm wasting so much time. How much life do I have left? What else can I do?
Right.
How much damage have I done trying to do this?
Yeah.
So there was that time between the ages of like 25, 26, 24 in there, whatever it was, where I
Right.
was just like,
Yeah.
what do I try to do?
But you just, again, found a different way to go about doing it.
Yeah, I did. I laid into it harder, but I laid more into the coaching also.
Yes.
So for me, when like my coaching started to take off and do well, because I was working in a commercial gym.
Okay.
Left the commercial gym.
Yep.
I had my own company.
Yeah.
Wasn't doing well at all. Moonlighting security like crazy.
Right.
Got this client. Now I have some income.
Yep.
That's going on for months and months and months. So I have all this. I have income.
Right.
Things are going well for me. I'm breathing new air.
Yeah.
I'm getting motivated. I have something to push alongside of the physique.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, well, let me try to look at the bodybuilding from a different angle while I'm a professional coach.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not so much one thing.
Right.
And then when I was able to push those two things instead of that one thing, I was able to feed off of those two things for my success and for my career success, which I have a lot of, pressure on myself for that career success because I want to retire.
Yeah, for sure.
I like to
Yeah.
retire.
Right. So that's what I'm going to ask you is
I don't have
how-
a pension.
Yeah, I went to a thing the other night and everyone sat there talking about how like they will not be able to retire, like eventually, because they like work for themselves or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, like I understand what you're saying, and I've only worked for myself, so it's one of those things of like, yeah, there's that underlying pressure of like things that I want to help my parents with, and when I want to start a family someday, and stuff like that. So how do you manage that pressure, like?
Well, that's the thing. So that was heavy for me still because now I had these two things, and this one was getting crushed by Lance and
Right.
my company, my half owner,
Yeah.
my co-owner, and then the competing wasn't good. But as things started to progress more and more, I started to pick up like social media started to take off again.
Right.
So now I had the social media, and I had the coaching, and then the bodybuilding, and then I had Helix, and then I had Gorilla, then I had the Road, and then I had
Yeah.
Guest Pass,
Right.
and then we had the farm. Like we had all these different things. So eventually it got to the point where instead of just pushing one thing towards what I thought was success or how I would get successful or be able to retire, I had 20.
Yeah.
So now when somebody was on like the bodybuilding pillar and they were like, you suck.
Yeah.
I was like, I might, but I don't have time to think about it
Right.
because I'm really busy.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is really, really cool.
Yeah.
So guess what? I guess you are a better bodybuilder than me.
Yeah.
And I hope that makes you happy today.
Right.
Because this is crushing it.
Yes.
And then a week later, I'm like, now this is crushing it.
Yes.
And then the whole time I'm focusing on kind of all of them.
Yeah.
So so that's for me, it's like been less and less and less pressure, even though I've been able to compile more things together.
I love that.
And I think the compiling is what's actually made it less
Oh, 100%.
Because it's not one egg.
100%.
You know.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Thank you for going through all that with me
You're
because that was
welcome.
awesome. So I have a couple questions as we're finishing up. Okay.
Okay.
So I do want to know, and I don't know if anyone listening wants to know this, but I feel like they do. Ziegler Monster.
Yeah.
How'd that come about?
High school from a kid who doesn't even like me.
I love that. I
I got the nickname from a guy named Travis. Doesn't
Okay.
even like me.
Okay. He just called you that one. Oh, because were you in
Yeah,
sports?
he
or were
was
you...
making fun of me.
Yeah.
And it was an insult. I was playing football.
Okay.
And it was the weirdest insult in the world.
Yeah.
Right? I was walking by and he was like, look at Ziegler's calves. Like, they're just so sculpted and big. Like, that's weird, man. Like, why do you look like a model right now? Like, look at you. You're like a Ziegler monster. And I was like, okay. And then later, I was making a handle on social media.
Yeah.
And I was like, Ziegler's 7 letters, and so is Monster, and so is Fitness. I was like, this is perfect, actually. ZMF is perfect.
Okay.
So it was a guy named Travis in high school, in the locker room, sophomore year of high school.
Look at that.
Gave me the nickname, which I didn't even use at all until, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my name used to be Crazy Dirt Rider.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, Crazy Dirt Rider 17 was my name. And then Ziegler Monster, and my first profile on bodybuilding.com when I got the attraction on there was David Ziegler.
Oh, okay.
Just David Ziegler.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ziegler Monster, I forget, like, it was probably like 2018. Or 2000, my bad. 2008.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because high school was 2006.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I got he said that to me in 2006. I know I'm getting old now.
I know. No, you're not. I'm like, what are you? Are you like 38?
Just a little under.
37?
So we're right there.
Okay. Right there.
Give or take.
Okay.
Give
Gotcha.
or take.
That's incredible.
But yeah, it was like 2006 is when he said it. And then it was probably like 2008 when I remade, I forget what I remade. I remade like an Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like started fresh. And I
Yeah.
started branding everything fresh. And then once I had it and I was so happy with it.
Yes.
Because like, this is perfect actually. Like I love
Right.
this name. And the way I got it was cool. I was like, I didn't make it up, which is fun.
Right.
You know,
I love
the
that.
way I got it
Thank
was,
you.
interesting. You know, like in your face kind of.
I like that. No, it's awesome.
So and then I bought it everywhere. I was like ZieglerMonster.com.
Yes,
And like
yes.
anytime as social media popped up, I was like Ziegler Monster right away. Ziegler Monster Gmail.
I love
and then
that.
so it's been almost 20 years.
Wow.
Because it was like 2008.
Yeah.
2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. I got you. I'm
So.
with you. Okay. And then, of course, so I go around, asking this, and I asked you this at the expo. And also I did want to ask you, so with the expo and everything, so this will obviously come out later on, but, we had it's 2 days event and everything like that. So how you felt after this first day?
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing these because ever since Sand Nutrition.
Yes.
And that was what, 2000?
So this is like nothing. You're just like, this is, yeah.
Yeah, I
Show
love
up,
these.
talk to
They're
people.
easy.
And do most people come to you and they're like, I follow you on TikTok? Or they like, I follow you? You like, where is that?
Everything all the way back to bodybuilding.com.
Wow.
All the way
So
back
they've been
to,
following you this whole time.
because some people, not everybody, of course.
Well, yeah.
And that's why some people are like, I would love to see how you've made it, and I've watched you since the beginning, man. It was like
Yeah.
I saw it was like 2020. I was watching you, and then someone comes up behind them, and they're like, I found you in 2008,
Yeah.
and I'm like, my man.
Yes, I love
My
that.
man, dude, I was a teenager.
That's so
because
cool.
I've been competitively bodybuilding, career oriented my entire adult life.
Wow, yeah.
I was 17
Yeah.
when I found the passion for it, and I went to Amanda and I sat her down and I was like, I am going to become a professional bodybuilder, and this is my career idea, and I'm going to try to be Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
What'd she say?
She was like, let's go.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think I was like 150 pounds.
Yeah. Hey,
You know?
it's okay. You create your own reality, and if you have someone to experience that with you, that's beautiful.
Pretty cool. Yeah, and the next thing I was 270,
Oh.
130 pounds later. She watched me gain.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I love that so much. It's so funny. I really want to ask her questions, but it's like, I don't have a mic, so I'm like, Amanda.
She would be,
but you know what I
we'll
mean?
get it back. She has some good stories.
That's awesome. So then tell me this, what is, because we talked about, again, your identity and stuff like that. You don't really, it's not in your body, with the bodybuilding. It's more about the actual structure. So right now you are getting ready for a show, right?
Right. I have 3 shows this year. They're all pro qualifiers.
Amazing.
If I win one, I will not do the other. I won't be allowed to do the other
Right,
ones.
right.
If I don't win it all, I might retire.
Okay. Okay.
at the end of this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been trying to chase this goal. I've been looking, and I broke my arms. I've had so many setbacks.
Oh, man,
So,
yeah.
but I'm in a position right now where like the health looks good.
Okay.
I'm still young enough. People are like, you're young. It's like, I know. Thank you.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah.
So, but I'm in a position where I can still rock and roll. I feel good. I feel great. Everything's responding still.
That's great.
I'm on the edge because I have so many things burning right now that I would like to contribute more time over there. I'd like to
Right.
spend more time with my family and my wife.
Yeah.
And when I say family, I mean the dogs.
Well, I was like, yeah, we got some dogs. Okay.
So,
all right. Gotcha.
so my wife and our dogs.
Okay,
Our
love it.
family. But anyway, I would like to do that, and the health implications that are associated with my sport. Every year, especially in my 30s, they become more astronomical.
Right.
The cycles I did at 24 don't have the same weight that they did with 34.
Right.
Same at 27 to 37 and
Yeah.
30 to 40.
Right.
I start to run a lot more risk, and even my doctors who have been on board with me for the last 12 years, who know my cycles, who talk to each other,
Yeah.
who do my blood work and all my imaging for the first time in the last couple of years, they've been like, please stop.
Okay.
It looks fine.
All right.
You look good. You're lucky. Please stop.
Yeah.
So that's where I think I'm going to run out this year. I look good. I've been coming back. Everything's been great.
Yeah.
I've been competing well. I took 2 overalls last year.
Awesome.
I took a 9th, which I shouldn't have done that show, but I did it anyway. And then I took a 6th when I looked great.
Okay.
So 6 was granted, fine placing, deserved. But the physique that I brought was very competitive and very good. I would like to bring it more places.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
and keep rocking with
Yeah.
it. Put some more size on it. Keep rocking with it. So that's why this year, I think I'm going to finish out the year. The last show was in December.
Okay.
Yeah, my birthday is December 28th.
Oh, okay.
And then the year will turn over, and I would I think I might stop.
Okay. I think that sounds awesome, honestly. Like, it sounds like a good game plan, and you're putting your health first, you know what I mean, in terms of that. Like, because again, I think that you've learned, you know yourself well, and you know what you want. And it's just like, again, like I've had these moments where it's like, okay, people are like, oh, get back into strongman. And I'm like, I don't want to risk my back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And you could.
And I totally could.
could.
I lifted a 200-pound sandbag today, and my back does not feel great. I'm gonna have a Epsom salt bath after this, okay? But you know what I mean? Like, I know my limit with it, and I feel like I was lucky. And that pain that I dealt with for 3 years, I don't want to. Even right now, my leg's a little bit numb. Like, I don't want to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, worse. And then also with the bodybuilding and stuff, it's like, again, I want to live a healthy lifestyle, and I want to be able to like do what I love, because movement is such a part of me forever. I want to be Granny
agree.
Guns. You know what I'm saying? Like I want that. And I just know myself, and I'm so extreme and so competitive that it's like, it really is I got to take it back and just, you know what I mean? So it's like a learning, right? But I really do think that like, you sound like you just have such a great approach about it, and it sounds awesome. And regardless, again, of course you're going to win, you know, duh. But like, you know what I mean? So we're going with best case scenario here.
Because for me, that would be almost, if one more year, it would be a full 20 years.
Yeah.
From when I decided to start bodybuilding to when I retire. And in that time, I've given all my effort, all my everything. The sport has shown me where I rank, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in a position now where I will do much more for the fitness community and the bodybuilding and the Iron Family community. Being out there in the community than on stage by myself, chasing bronze trophies.
And David, that's exactly correct. Like, that's what you just said. That's beautiful. And I think that that's so important. And again, it's not a failure. You know what I mean? Like, don't ever look at it like that, because I think we get in our heads so much, and we're like, oh, I didn't accomplish that goal, or I didn't get to whatever, right? I wanted to go to the Arnold. That was what I wanted to do more than anything. I was like, I will be on the Arnold stage, lifting heavy stuff. No one will care what my body looks like, because people didn't care. You know, strongman, they're just like, lift the weight.
If you can do it, right?
Just lift the weight, right? And it's like, but again, that just, I transitioned, went to bodybuilding, and then that helped us another demographic of people and women, right?
Yeah.
And then I got out of that, and now I'm helping a different demographic. Like, so I've been able to help so many different people by all that whole journey of, you know, you could say failures, right? Or like whatever, but I don't look at it like that.
Me neither,
and I did for a minute. I mean, I did. Everybody
and
knows.
others do. Because I know they tell me.
Yes.
Sometimes when they get angry and they're in a live,
Yeah.
and they'll say something like, "Well, you never got the card," and I'm like, "I didn't."
Right.
I don't know what to tell you.
But again, you have so many other beautiful things that are happening that it's like, and you're impacting people, and you and your like just energy and your joy that like even I've seen has been really great. And that's going to help, I think, so many more people than you sitting on stage flexing, being like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's great too.
And that's
right?
great too, right?
Right.
And that's a fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I still love it.
Yes.
I poured so much passion to it.
Yeah.
When I lost the first time, did you come back? I came back 6 more times.
Yeah.
And then not only that,
Not going out without fighting.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I did 30 some shows. Like I
Yes.
came back.
Yes.
I got old.
Well, hey, time and age and everything, but you're having fun along the way.
Absolutely. I
And
love
that's
it.
what's most
Love
important.
my life.
And so as we're closing out, because we both have a long day tomorrow, what is something that you love about your body?
Oh, I love that it is the vessel I have to show me the universe.
Yeah.
It's all I have. It doesn't matter if there's holes in my boat, it's my boat.
Yeah.
And it floats me through life.
Yeah.
So it's how I get to experience things. It's what I get to see. It doesn't matter, if my eyes don't work as well and my vision's a little blurry, it doesn't matter. It's mine.
Hey, we're in it together.
Yep.
We're right there.
So-
oh my
So that's my
gosh.
thing. I love my body because it's my vessel.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. And thank you for this. This was amazing. And thank you for taking the time to share
Thank
and
you.
everything. And like I said, it just meant so much to me, just even last year with you jumping on stage and and doing the LYB initiative and just being just a good energy,
Thank you.
And so it's been a pleasure to meet you. And I'm excited to see all the things you do.
Thank you so much. And thanks for inviting me out.
Of course.
Had a great time.
Yes, sir. All right. Until next time.